Hey there, Sovereign Sense here. So I saw at 1:56 p.m. today, August 12th, some FSLR puts being sold for January 21st, 2028, 260p, 7.8 million at the bid. That's 7.8 million at the bid, 260p. So that's puts being sold, which is a bullish move for January 21st, 2028. Pulled up the chart and I liked what I saw. I mean, first of all, I know the stock very well. So I I decided I'm going to record this video, document that I just recently bought around 228 something. Just got a fill for some shares, nothing crazy. Um, Kind of more of a educational thing, you can call it. So this dotted dashed line is something I've been leaving on all my charts, which is the 200 EMA. So on the weekly and the daily, I've seen some incredible stuff around it. Hell, I even leave it on when I'm scalping on the 1 minute. Somehow, some way, the 200 EMA ends up being a thing. So it's been working out pretty well. So what do we have here? So I grabbed these fibs from this low, substantial low, and this high. And so if we actually add the 886, let's see if we got a bounce off the 886 originally. Yeah. So it almost pretty much bounced off the 886, created a bullish order block, had some bullish order blocks down here. They didn't tap it, but they got close to it. Bounced off the 886, jumped over the 786. The 786 is still quite the deep retracement. But the 886 is kind of like if a stock is in any way bullish and it had a very deep retracement, it's a good place to sometimes place your bets within the 886, 786 zone, kind of pray that it bounces and have the 886 as your stop. It really is a strategy. I can go through a bunch of tickers where this has worked out incredibly well. So what you could have here from an Elliott wave standpoint is this could have been the ABC, right? So a very deep ABC. Or you could have something a little bit more severe. You got an A, B, and eventually you're going to get a deeper C. But this is where you have to combine a million different things, right? You got to combine gamma, options flow, EMAs, fibs, and everything. So I have a bullish outlook on FSLR in general. So, I made my decision to buy a few shares just based on a few things. But the deeper we look at this chart, there's a lot of activity going on over here, and probably says something with this volume profile, right? Then you got a little bit more volume here, which is where it's at. So I do like that. Technically, bulls wanted to see it bounce from 236.50-ish, and it didn't, and it came down further. But I like that we're in this zone, right? I like that we landed right on the 200 EMA and right on the 618. So I definitely want to see a close today on the 618. Now, this could be a trade back to the 0.5 or back to the 382 or back to this bearish order block where it wicked off of and you have some more volume there, right? Some more activity there. However, what you could also have here in a greater scheme of things, let's just do this live. So I'm just going to kind of look for my more local waves, right? My more minor waves. I'm seeing a 1-2 here, right? I'm seeing possibly a 3-4-5, but the way that I like to count is to really look at what the wave did. And, wave 3 should be bigger than wave 1, right? So this 3 would look a little weak. So this could be an even more minor wave within it. If we go into the 4 hour, you might catch an ABC there. And there might be impulsive waves within impulsive waves. So as of now, I'm going to assume 1, 2, all the way up to 3, 4, 5. I've been seeing a lot of stocks doing this, where the 5 was very short and the 3 was very impulsive, very long, right? So now we're going to do an ABC. A, B, I'm going to assume C, right? So now what could we have here? Well, we can start drawing some new fibs. So these are fibs, like I said, from this low to this high. But, sorry, I'm a little lost here. We're going to put a little golden zone here. I'm going to draw up from here to here. Okay? So someone in there is going to be the 0.5. This would be your max bottom if we were to assume this is a 1, 2. So let's keep it going. Let's assume that this is going to be our max bottom here. Which is funny because look at what I drew up. You have more confluences. That's the bottom of this box, which I like. I don't want to see it drop below the 200 EMA, but this could wick and come back, right? So let's keep it going here. We're going to now draw some extensions, assuming that this is going to be the bottom. Let's say this is not the bottom, assuming this one. So we're going to draw from this low to this high, okay? They might not be 100% precise. So what could we get here? We have the possibility of a 1, 2, 3. So I like to be a little bit conservative. Okay? I like to be a little bit conservative. Go to the 1, 4, 1, 4. Make sure I stay above this 1 because you cannot cross. And then leave the 0.5. Leave the wave 5 at the 1618. Now, many times this goes much higher, and sometimes it stops at the 1272, right? And then maybe your counts are off or whatever. But I like having these guys, right? Sometimes what I do as well is I leave the 1.13 for my assumed wave 4. Especially when you're so close to the 1, 2. Because remember, you can't cross into it. If wave 4 is down here, then everything kind of gets mitigated and invalidated. So this is what I'm going to assume is going on here. We're going to do a 1. So we did our 5 waves. We did our ABC. Now you could have a situation of another ABC up. And that's where you're getting complicated with this stuff. Or an A, B, and deeper C. So that's your worst case scenario. But that's why you need invalidation zones, right? Which would be somewhere around 221.54. Setting an alert saying invalidation, having a line on your chart, like really tracking this is going to help. What else can we do here? Well, I have some greater fibs that I've had for a while here. So this was interesting. It bounced somewhere between the 0.5, 0.618 all time. And it pretty much rejected at the 886, which is very common. It would have been nice for it to have stopped at the 786, and it didn't. So the other thing that we have here is now you can go into these wave counts. Where are you at? But we're not going to do that. We're going to assume this might not all be so precise. We're going to assume now that this ABC, the bottom here, is actually a greater 1, 2. Don't worry, I will change all this stuff. Just going to throw some 3, 4, 5s out here just to throw them. I'm going to go to primary. I'm going to remove this wave. And I'm going to give it another color. Okay. Remember, waves within waves, subwaves. Sorry, I'm trying to catch this 5.
Paramount has discussed.
So this could be a thing, right? 1, 2, 3. So I'm using some all-time fibs here. 3, 4, 5 to the 1414. I'm liking this on its own because I have this giant megaphone, right? So if we extend this out, this is from a long time ago. Maybe the 5 comes all the way up to this 1618. The 3 to the 1414. Maybe the retracement's not too deep on the 4. Can we get back to all-time highs this year? Most definitely, I think we can if we get a bounce here. We are coming down a little bit into the close. But the point is that you could get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then let's say an ABC coming down, and then continue your counts up to go up, right? If I'm right that this is the bottom, this will be a wave 3 of 3, which could be vicious. Again, this 3 can go much higher and do a 4, 5, ABC into the primary wave 3. This might get a little complicated for those of you that don't understand. But this is just in general what I'm going to have on here. And then I'm probably, as I get to know it a little bit more, I'm probably going to get a little bit more specific, right? So one of the ways, I don't know if I'm going to do all of that in this video, but I guess might as well, right? We come down to this 2, measure up to the 1 for our targets. Whoops, wrong one. In the golden zone and not targets. Whoa, I did not plan that. The 1618 hit the 1414 all time. Amazing. Extra confluences. That makes me feel that it could really happen. This is possible. It's possible. So this is what I'm going to leave on my chart. And what I'm thinking of doing is we continuously track FSLR. Even if it gets invalidated, I'll do an updated video of what the new counts could be, what the new trade setup could be. I would say that I kind of just did like a starter position right now, but there's other things that you can go ahead and take a look at for possibly adding. I'm not someone who averages up, but for instance, that AV-WAP resistance is where that 0.5 is. So let's say you cross that AV-WAP resistance and you hold and you get above the 0.5. Now you're going to feel a little bit more bullish about your count, right? And, you know, puts are being sold. It's kind of a popular name. It's always been a popular name. We had a huge jump up here where we saw options flow work out for it. So maybe we do get that next pop. But maybe above here is where we start taking the trade a little bit more seriously. Now we want leaps. Now we want to size up because you had all of this drawn out. So anyways, we're going to keep tabs on this trade. Again, like I said, for now, it's kind of educational purposes, nothing too heavy hitting. And we're going to see where it takes us. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks so much.